big-time additions on this team. Certainly you think about even in the draft, adding Georgia's Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean on that defense. And then offensively, the blockbuster trade to bring A.J. Brown in, already a talented offense. They've got a ton of weapons around Hurts. And now, Marcus, it's just up to him. As you look at this team collectively, how do you feel like this Eagles team fares in this NFC East? Uh-oh. Are you about to say they're going to win?
Yeah.
You're about to say they're going to be better than the Cowboys? Is that what's going on here?
Say it.
Oh, come
I
on
think
now.
he's getting there. I think he's getting there.
Now.
Not today, Satan.
I didn't know this was happening today, and I'm excited.
It's a big
Let's
day.
go.
I'm nervous.
Uh-oh.
I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. And I still, like, the only glimmer of light I'm holding on to is Dak is the quarterback in Dallas. That's the only glimmer of light.
That's a big compliment to Philly.
one extra level from Jalen Hurts, and you look at these rosters on paper, it's tough not to say Philly is. Sure. It's tough not to say Philly will be a top 3 NFC team.
I agree.
More so than just in the NFC East. But it's all hinging on Jalen's development, bro. Like, we can kid ourselves and we can look at all of these weapons that they have, and A.J. Brown, we know how phenomenal he is. You don't have quarterback play in this league at a high enough level, you're not going to win games. That's the reality of it. Yeah. You'll get by, you'll be in games, but you won't finish them. Finishing games in the NFL is the key to winning games and going to the playoffs. But when you look at this roster,
you okay, big fella?
I'm not. I'm not. And I'm not. I'm going to pass this offense to you.
Well,
when I have questions about the Cowboys' offensive line, and I look at the names on this Philadelphia Eagles defensive line, and exactly what they did last year against what the Cowboys' offensive line was.
And Jordan Davis is going to be a backup, potentially.
Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Hargrave. You think about these guys.
Reddick.
Bringing in, Reddick, Nakobe Dean.
Yep.
Like, y'all, I'm nervous because this offensive line for Dallas is, you just put a question mark.
Yeah.
Just put an entire question mark about who they are. So in this division alone, not only that, I know we're going to get to it, Washington getting healthy, but when you look at Philly and the names on this roster, defensively, defensive line from a physicality standpoint, it's going to be tough sledding, bro.
Can I take the whole word that you used, develop, with Jalen Hurts? I think that's the only thing we've ever seen him do at quarterback is develop.
You're exactly right.
And the question is, well, can he do it as your traditional drop-back passing quarterback? In his first year as a starting quarterback, he started to show it last year. You're going to really have high-low to the right side of the screen, back on a swing, tight end on an out, and then this is a full progression read shallow across the end. He peeks to the right, and the linebacker flows to the back, and that secondary player is outside leverage. Now, Jalen in the past would automatically quickly get backside to that shallow end, but he trusts his tight end to win on the route. Dallas Goedert, and I love the ball placement, Marcus. Up high and away before that linebacker can spin around and before that safety drives down. And that's just one clip of showing the development of, no, I'm not going to quickly get backside. I'm going to trust that my player is good enough. He's going to win on the route and get that ball out there. And I think that's the big kind of jump that we will see from Jalen Hurts is that development of, because your point of late in the game is huge.
That's
because late in the game, running around and making a play is only going to win so much, right? Because defensive linemen are so smart. Dude, can you hang in on 3rd and 6, fourth quarter, week 16, on the road against the Dallas Cowboys, Trayvon Diggs versus one of your guys, and can you throw it here? Because it can't be here. And that's the big question mark. And I think he can.
Well, you know, Shefty, we just saw Nick Sirianni on the screen, and now we've moved to some other people. But you think about all the draft picks that the Eagles have in 2023, and it adds to some of the pressure maybe on Hurts. The Eagles are in a great spot no matter what.
That's the amazing and impressive part about what they did during the offseason. They maneuvered away up in the draft to go get Jordan Davis. They traded for A.J. Brown, and they still left themselves with double ones in 2023. So they're sitting there with the extra one, and that does exert more pressure on Jalen Hurts because we all know that if he doesn't perform this year, they're going to go see who is available in the draft and see if they can upgrade. Now, if he plays well, it's his team. But nobody's saying today this is Jalen Hurts' job this season and for the long term. This is Jalen Hurts' job now. He's the guy. They expect big things.
Real quick, Shefty, I don't think he can play well. I think he's got to play really good.
Got to play really good.
Because I would say this. I think it's the easiest place in the league to play quarterback this season.
Yeah.
Top 3 offensive line. You got a really good tailback in Miles Sanders. You got the diversity of the run game because of your athletic quarterback. And you got 2 receivers that are incredibly good and difficult to tackle and a top 5 tight end. You can't play well. You got to play really, really, really good to keep your job in Philadelphia, in my opinion, for Jalen.
And you think about the quarterbacks potentially in next year's draft. You got Bryce Young out of Alabama. You got C.J. Stroud. I mean, who knows?
Remember
Spencer
what Bryce
Rattler.
Young and Devontae Smith did?
Yeah. Pretty fun to watch. Okay, listen, we're getting to another NFC East team. The Giants are on the field. They might be drafting the quarterback. We'll see what James.
Departure. I know Sean gave me a lot of confidence about where Jameis would go as a quarterback, learning how to play the position, limiting the turnovers. I still think Jameis is in that mindset. When you listen to him talk, he talks about taking what the defense is giving him. He's a leader on this football team, and with the draft of Olave and Michael Thomas coming back, look for Jameis to have a big year.
I love that one. I'm going to go to Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes. We've heard so much conversation about the loss of Tyreek Hill. This reminds me a lot of many years ago, Tiger Woods in the golf world changing his golf swing. I think this offense is going to be different because the strength of the offensive line, the lack of the one superstar at the wide receiver position, but a bunch of really good pieces. How does Patrick Mahomes transition to still being one of the best players in the league, but leading a little bit of a different scheme in Kansas City?
Unbelievable. He only goes.
And how about earlier this week we heard the Patriots head coach Bill Belichick say that there has been, quote unquote, dramatic improvement in Mac Jones, who was pretty good as a rookie last year. The Patriots believe he's going to make the next jump this year. The question, of course, will be who's calling plays for him, whether it's Bill Belichick, Matt Patricia, Joe Judge. But Mac Jones's intelligence should not be underrated, and his contribution to making the offense work also will be a factor in New England, where he's surrounded by a lot of talent, and he is ready to take the next step.
Come on, Matt.
You just heard him right there. Adam Schefter, Dan Orlovsky, and Marcus Spears here with you through noon. We're looking at the Bills live, our camp pass there, as we are here with you for a special edition of NFL Live Back Together Saturday. Jeremy Fowler out there at Bills practice. And Jeremy, what are you watching as we just saw Josh Allen and company on the field?
Yeah, well, Laura, I just caught up with head coach Sean McDermott on his way through the tunnel. He couldn't even sleep last night. He said he's so excited because they're putting on pads for the first time this training camp. He said ever since he was 7 years old, can't sleep the night before, they go into pads. But they're doing some light work right now, only some thudding. McDermott told me I have to protect my quarterback. And make no mistake, this is the Josh Allen offense in Buffalo, despite the switch from offensive coordinator Brian Daboll, who's now in New York, to new coordinator Ken Dorsey. I asked around, I'm told that there will be no wholesale changes. This is Allen, and they love what he does at the line of scrimmage. They believe he's at his best when he's checking protections, taking ownership of things. But I am told from GM Brandon Beane that Ken Dorsey will have his wrinkles, and he'll put his spin on it. After asking around, I do have a sneaky suspicion that the running backs will be a little more involved. They believe they have the best depth at running back they've had in a long time. Very excited about rookie James Cook. They can line him out wide all over the field. So exciting time here with the Bills.
Yeah, we love it, Jeremy. I mean, literally, as you're going along there, you're answering all the questions that I had. That's why you're a great reporter. I'm thinking, yeah, surely they're going to use James Cook, and that's what will change. All right, more from Jeremy coming your way. The Bills had the highest % chance to win the Super Bowl, according to ESPN's Football Power Index. Buffalo famously reached 4 consecutive Super Bowls in the early 90s, but came home empty each time. And the Bills' path to finally hoist the Lombardi Trophy begins with the reigning Super Bowl champion Rams in Week 1 out in Los Angeles. Man, the NFL knows how to do it when it comes to these schedules. Marcus, is there anything less than a Super Bowl appearance for them? Is anything less a disappointment at this point? I mean, it just feels like they have to go ahead and win it this year, right? I hate to be so crazy, but, you know, come on.
Listen, because the window is always closing. Like, I know a lot of people, we look at Patrick Mahomes. We thought Patrick Mahomes would have another one. Right?
No doubt.
We thought he would have another one.
No doubt.
We thought that we talked about with Matt Stafford coming over to L.A. This your window. You better get it done because it's going to get tougher. Teams are going to identify what they need to do to beat you. It's not about you not getting better as a football team. It's about everybody that watched the Buffalo Bills